David, I'm intrigued with the performance of this team coming up this year because I look around college football and I think the Gators are a bit unique to just their positioning in regards to this. We know what the standard is. We know what's been accomplished in the past. So that's top 5 to 10 in the nation. We know that this team's not prepared to do that, but I think it's being discarded as a complete also ran by a lot of people that Florida's not going to do anything this year because Georgia's the standard in the division. Kentucky gets a lot of love because of, Mark Stoops, Will Levis, a Heisman Trophy candidate, getting some pub. Of course, Josh Heupel in Tennessee, just because of them scoring a lot of points. Hendon Hooker, a starting quarterback with a 31 touchdown, 3-pick season under his belt, getting a lot of love as well. And they're being known commodities with like a USC and a Lincoln Riley as a first-year head coach, or Brian Kelly at LSU, and people thinking more, Billy Napier, we know he knows what he's doing, but he hasn't done it at this level. So there seems to be more of a wild card factor with Florida football among all the elites that have question marks.
Yeah, Mark, I mean, we're not too far removed from, Florida's played Alabama twice in the last year and a half and has played them tougher than anybody else besides Georgia. The very next week, after playing, barely losing to Alabama, beat the brakes off of Tennessee the very next week. And then it all fell apart for Dan Mullen in Florida. So, we're not that far removed from people looking at Florida as a pretty darn good team. I remember the talk after Florida barely lost to Alabama last year, and it was like, all right, maybe we wrote off Florida too soon. Maybe it's going to be another Florida-Alabama rematch in Atlanta before the wheels fell off. And teams caught up a little bit too. Florida was kind of a misnomer, but didn't really know what to expect from Emory Jones at quarterback and all that. And then, as I said, as good as they caught Tennessee early before Hendon Hooker really took off at the same time. But still, that's how far we were removed. No, not that far removed from a lot of positive talk about Florida. So I do think Florida probably gets graded a little too harsh for what was going on last year. I think the coaching staff didn't do these kids much favor last year. I think they quit playing for the staff. So you do hope at least effort goes a long way this year in turning around the record for Florida. It is a bit of a tough schedule. It is a bit of a tough start with Utah and Kentucky in the first couple games. But, Mark, I mean, as I said, there's still a lot of talent. If you want to go by pure talent, pure recruiting rankings, Florida's still the second most talented team in the East, and it's really not all that close. So if the guys can play up to their talent. Now, don't get me wrong, Tennessee's got some guys that were developed last year, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They make up that pure talent difference. Kentucky and just what Mark Stoops has built, they make up, with their development and their culture with that pure talent deficit. But at the same time, Florida still has the second most talented roster in the East, and we'll see what that means and how fast Billy Napier can put it all together.